Hello and welcome back. And in this lecture, we'll see how to generate the bibliography or the references automatically from the web. To do so, we'll open up or we create a new database or reference database, and I'm gonna press Ctrl S to save that. In this case, I'm gonna type autoref, so autoref.pip to save my this is a new database. If you wanted to navigate to the previous database or the other database, you can go ahead and click this, but I'm going to use this, or I can even close this. I can save change and close that. If you want to retrieve, I can go to file and I can even open library, and that will take me to this thing. So for this lecture, I'm going to show you how to download the bibliography details automatically from the web. So if you could see here, web, and there's a tiny drop down stating that archive or XIV, site CREX, and collection of computer science bibliography, CrossRef, and so many things, Springer, and so on. And I'm going to show you, you can even navigate to this by clicking this plus. There is equivalent symbol, and with the plus the subscript, I'm going to click that, and that will take me to this particular page. And this small dialog box, you can even see the same drop down like archive. This is RXIV, and probably it's archive network, and the cross reference DOI is digital object identifier, and so on. Let's take a look at individual steps. So let's go to RXIV, and there's a tiny type text you can even type in below that. That's called ID. So we can type in the ID of ID of any document from RXIV. That will automatically generate the bibliography. So let's dive in. So I've already opened up the URL, which is rxiv.org, which is a free distribution service and open access archive for scholarly articles. And I'll scroll down a little bit, and say for example, I'm interested in statistics. Probably I'm gonna click new. This is just for an illustrative purpose, like depending upon your research thing, you can probably download that particular bibliography automatically. So for example, this is some first document, so say sample size calculation for cluster randomized trials with zero inflated count outcomes, so by different people. And I'm gonna select this archive ARXIV 2009, and I'm gonna go to my can even go navigate to this, and this ID. I'm gonna paste that. Fortunately, it's not copied, so I'm gonna go to PDF. That will be the document, which is the file. I'm going to go to the other. Yeah, here it is. This is the ID, I believe, and I just copy, Control C, Control V, and if I generate, yeah, it automatically generated. So the name of the authors, the title, and the BibTeX key, then optional fields and other fields like the date, then ePrint class, and it's from this particular type ARXIV, and general. You can even see this thing, the URL, and abstract, and probably all this document. You see the article is automatically updated from the URL or from the website. Okay, so this is our XIV. So I'm going to close this for a moment. The next very important step is the CrossRef. CrossRef is my personal favorite, because that has got a huge what do you call scholarly articles. Probably for my PhD, I use CrossRef the most. So probably I'll show you how to find out the data from the CrossRef. Go to CrossRef. So there's something called search site. So this is not we're going to look into. So we have to navigate to search metadata. So click on the search metadata. It asks for title, author, DOI, and etc. If you know the digital object identifier, you can see very well, find out the document. But you can very well retrieve the bibliography database if you know DOI from using the JabRef. So that's there. But I'm gonna type something called constructability, something like that. And I'm gonna click enter. Constructability. Yeah, so there are a lot of things are there. Here is called book chapter, and most of them looks like a book chapter. You can even get the journal article, the PhD thesis, all those things you can find out here. Probably this is pretty much an important thing that you can find. So I'm gonna navigate to journal article, select. I'm gonna filter out the journal articles. You see, it's I'll open up stuff, and I'm gonna click copy the stuff, and I'm gonna go to CrossRef and generate. Yeah, you see it's automatically got updated. So this is a miscellaneous document, foundation of constructability in Sharmin Khan, and so on. So this is how you generate it from cross reference. And the next item will be the DOI. This is primarily the researcher's key, or it is the mostly used stuff for identifying a digital document. So in this case, this is my paper and I've got a DOI. This is unique. DOI are unique for papers. No DOI will be the same. So I'm gonna click DOI and I'm gonna generate that. So yeah, it got automatically generated. You see, article content 2013, and this is the uh, full-fledged stuff. Like this is the one title, journal. It is actually a procedure engineering, which is actually a conference, but it just make sure that you do it correctly. Sometimes automatic retrieval may not be correct, so something like that. Or let me go to an article which cited this article. Yeah, here it is. This automation construction. It's a journal, and I'm going to go to automated optimization of formal design through spatial analysis and building information modeling. Then I'm going to copy their URL, I mean the DOI actually. Then I'm going to paste that in the DOI, and now it will automatically generates. Yeah, within fraction of second it just generated the bibliography. It's the exact article, so which means I've shown you how to retrieve from the DOI. The next stuff will be the DIVA. One more time maybe. So this is Diva Digitala Betenskapliga Arkivet. So I'm gonna type in something called concrete. That will search the folder. Yeah, here it is, like supporting learning and teaching of chemistry in undergraduate classroom, something like that. So comparison of punching shear design provision for flat slab. I'm going to click that, and that will take me to this page. You can download the full article, which is an open access, and by organization is concrete structures and subject is building technologies. You can right click and open it in a new tab, so that will take you to the different publications from the building technologies. So if you scroll down, then that's something called DIBA ID. You can copy this ID and you go to your JabRef, and you can type in call generate. Yeah, here it is. Within a fraction of a second, it just got generated. So you see, automatic generation is pretty much a significant feature of JabRef. Then the next item will be IACR ePrints with cryptology ePrint. So something like complete content. Probably this is the ID, I guess. Like probably I'll try. I've not tried this early. So something related to internet or cryptology, something like that. So I'm gonna go to my JabRef and I'm gonna type in this thing, and if I generate, yeah, here it is. Yeah, you see, let's tessellate this particular the reference. So this is how you download from IACR. I'm gonna close that for a moment. The next thing that we're gonna do is, like, we'll go to IACR ePrints. Below that is ISBN. So ISBN is you get ISBN from book. So it is an international standard book number, something like that. So just ISBN stands for that. All right. So any book, probably the latest one will be better, because older books have got not compatible ISBN. So for example, I just say steel structures or something like that, book, something like that. This is a pretty much latest one. So limit state design of steel structures. Let me try the ISBN. The ISBN is here, and just to close this for a moment, and I'm gonna click this ISBN, copy that, and I just paste the ISBN, and I try generating it. It takes some time, but it's worth the time. So sometimes it takes longer than you expected. You see, book by Dougal, SK Dougal, 2014. You see, it's within a fraction of a second, it just could able to generate the references. And I'm going to close this for a moment. And the next one will be the Library of Congress, which I believe the mammoth in the field of what do you call the referencing or the bibliography. I'm gonna select. I'm not gonna need everything, because I'm very interested in manuscripts or books or printed materials. I'll be fine. So I'm gonna go to the search, and I'm gonna type concrete. So depending upon your research, you can type in, yeah, here it is, concrete construction, concrete monuments. And I don't want that, probably the older one. I want something called pretty new, so just filter that to 2000 to 2099. So this is something like that. And recycle aggregate concrete, and I'm going to click that. That will take me to this page. So it's getting loaded. Yeah, here it is, and this is the detail. Springer, published in 2018, and ISBN. You can even type generate this using the ISBN, or you can even search using this Library of Congress, something like that. So I'll just scroll down. Yeah, here is a number. I think let me try this, because this is the number also associated here. Last portion, this is the URL, I guess, and I want ID. So Library of Congress and the ID. Yeah. Yes, you see, as I told you, Library of Congress is a comprehensive web page where you see the Bibliography is very clear, and in fact it's more detailed. So this is the advantage of using the Library of Congress references. You can even change that to article, or that's a book actually, so I'm going to convert that into a book. So this is how I manually edit stuff and something is not correct or perfect. So as an example, I'm going to close this for a moment, and I'm going to go to the what do you call, math science net, which is actually very difficult to retrieve because you need to have an account. So I'm going to go to Google math sci net. So whatever, it's actually an American Mathematical Society, but you cannot search a document. You see publication database, whatever you type in, say for example Michael, something like that. You type in, it asks for the user ID and password. So I don't have that, I've not registered. So if you're a registered user, you can log in and you can retrieve the data. And the next is the PubMed, which is actually a biomedical stuff, like it's a national center for biomedical information, but you can even still find out some civil engineering stuff here. So I'm going to go to that web page. So this is pubmed.gov. I'm going to type in something called concrete. That will take me to this. It's called lightweight concrete from basic to innovation. This is the PubMed ID, so I'm going to select that, copy, and I'm going to paste it in the required field. And if I generate, it takes some time, but it's worth waiting that time because it's you see, it's kind of also very similar to Library of Congress because it has got almost all the details. Like it's an article, and it's the ISBN, it's probably the other fields like PubMed ID, country of publication, and so on. So general, you see also keywords and UI and the abstract, the comments. The comments is generally empty in most of the cases, but PipTech is very comprehensive. So this is a very wonderful what do you call, process of retrieving it online. And the next was something called RFC and request for comments, and let's close this for a moment. And this is the RFC editor.org, and these are the different things. It's something like technical and organizational documents about the internet, and it's actually the Internet Engineering Task Force. And probably I'll just select a document. In this case, we'll just select something called yeah, the first one itself, non-interactive emergency call. It's actually the number. I can even copy the number 8876, or I can even type in RFC 8876, and RFC 8876. If I generate, or probably I just remove that thing and I just only generate the number. Yeah, that was an error. So you see, it is the what do you call, the non-interactive emergency calls. So calls actually, this is how it automatically retrieves from RFC, request for comments. And another thing is called the NASA astrophysics data system, and I'm gonna go to that particular thing, and it's actually the SAO/NASA astrophysics data system, and this is hosted by High Energy Astrophysics Division at the Harvard Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics. And let's type concrete. So since I'm from civil engineering, I've just typed concrete. I'm very optimistic that I might get some papers related to concrete, and it's on acoustic spectroscopy. Yeah, here it is, precast concrete structure. Oh, very nice. So I'm going to click that, and that will take me to the abstract and also the what do you call the DOI. I can even retrieve this information from the DOI, or I can use the bibcode. I'm not tried this, but let me try this bibcode, and if I generate it, yeah, it's working. You see the ultrasonic inspection of grouted splice sleeves in precast concrete structures using elastic reverse time migration method. Yeah, well done. It works perfectly fine. And we'll move on to the next one. It's called, the title will come back to a little later, but we'll go to the next item. It's called MEDRA or something like that. Um, the next one will be MEDRA, which is the multilingual lingual European Registration Agency of DOI. This is something which is pretty much an interesting thing. And I'm going to type concrete, and that will take me to design optimization of reinforced concrete waffle slab using genetic algorithm. I'm going to click the metadata. So here it is, the DOI, and let me check whether I can find something related to probably I can use this copy. And I'm going to go to the ID. Yes, yes, it works perfectly fine. This is Journal of Soft Computing in Civil Engineering. So this is how you generate from MEDRA. And the last but not least is the title. So title is a very comprehensive thing that you should find, because no two titles are the same. You remember in the first lecture we talked about the title of PhD research. Then the first thing we mentioned is like title is unique. So for example, if I start typing some keyword, we'll find the documents related to that. Let me find using a term called formwork, because formwork is a generic term. I'm not pretty sure like what it can fetch me. So I'm gonna type formwork and I'm gonna click generate. It might take time because there are huge data on formwork, or huge thing. Yeah, it has found out something called in collection formwork site carpentry, something like 2012 publication. But I'm not worried about this, or I'm not interested in this. So make sure that you have to give your title the more precise. So I'm going to click that and let that be on. So I'm going to go to Google, and I'm going to type something called constructability plus my name. That will, this we have done probably something like I go to my Scholar page, Google Scholar page. Let me find, let me see whether it finds this particular title. This is my book chapter, our book chapter. Let me type in, let's see whether it can find the, yeah, it takes some time because it has to search the whole web. Oh, it's done. Yeah, very good. So you see it has found in collections actually a book title from IGI Global, and so many things like page numbers and abstract it doesn't fetch. Then probably the bibtext. So yeah, DOI brought me the DOI, something like that. So in this case I probably could see it should be corrected, so I can manually correct as I told you. So now it's perfectly fine. So this is how it generally finds from web and automatically gives you. And I hope you really enjoy this video. It's a comprehensive video, I understand, but I've provided you almost every possibilities that you can download stuffs from, I mean, retrieve the bibliography from the internet and automatically update them or make use of them in your database, I mean the JabRef database. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day. Bye bye.